totally and brutally honest here. Sean Corbin makes Valery Brudov look like Ivan Drago. It's as simple as that. He's beat BOTW in front of him tonight. He faces me. He's going to visit mental demons again. And let's get something straight. You come to me, mate. You come to me. Next time, ain't no judges going to be needed. I'm going to do worse than Kovalev. I am going to do worse than Kovalev.
Saturday night, mate, you better hold it together. I'm going to smash it near you to pieces, mate. I'm going to hit him. When he gets in the ring and we get 10-ounce gloves on, I'm going to smash his head to bits. I'm going to do it November the 30th against all odds. No matter what people say, the journalists write what you want. All as I'll say is tune back in and then look at me on December the 1st when I am world champion. It's as simple as that. I'm willing to die in that ring. It's as simple as that. I am willing to die. I'm willing to die, Saturday. Is he?
You're fucking right. Quite a few thrown in this week from the guys. First one is from Dylan at Analyze Hip Hop. Has been nominated by Rye_SAFC. It's for Bellew, actually. Tony Bellew. Leave him alone. He's coming back into the limelight. He just said that a heavyweight coming up from cruiserweight is big at the weight. Poor old Bellew, Rob. He's getting these nominations, but he just wants to stay out of everybody's view. I mean, can't we just back off?
I can't understand where these people are finding all these sound bites. Like, where are you hearing all this stuff on Sky or on his podcast with Eddie Hearn, or when he's on Catchphrase, or when he's on that television show about the SAS, or when he's opening up supermarkets? Where are you getting all these quotes from?
Oh, probably when he was celebrating the new deep dish pizza at Papa John's.
That was prime Bellew. I'm going to have to try and find that one out. That was definitely prime Bellew. Talking of prime nominations for Bellew of the Week, what about this one, Andy, from good old AB? Matty at Eggy Phil has nominated Broner, coming onto Instagram, dropping some knowledge bombs, as you do. Without abortions, I would have almost 30 kids today, Jim Broner. Isn't that type of content you're throwing out on your social media?
Christ almighty, man. What is he all about? You know, it's fucking... He's got the Barbara Windsor contraception. You know, that's what she was all about, you know.
About babies?
He also went on to do a bit of fat shaming.
Yeah,
the ladies in the club, where he put his stomach in his cycling shorts and pulled it up and said, "This is what I'd be seeing in the club. Why don't these bitches go work out or some shit?" He said. So he's doing a bit of fat shaming as well, Broner. He's not having a great time of it at the moment, sitting out waiting on the 10 milli.
Oh Christ! But you can just imagine doing a Barbara Windsor going and get the scrape and get the plug pulled. You know, Jesus Christ! What a wanker!
Big games in the background.
Oh, hey, he hounded her for years, man, didn't he? He's like, go on, please. He was like, he's like, what do you call him? Harvey Weinstein, wasn't he? Just hanging about in doorways. Look at it! Look at it! Look at it!
Weinstein, Epstein, AB, natural progression. Shannon Courtney has been nominated as well. Just been asked for ID for a lottery ticket, Shannon tweeted out. Not going to lie, I'm absolutely over the moon with that. Looks like I have a new favourite corner shop. James tweeted in and said, "This never happened. She looks about 80.
Where's Ozzy, man? Ozzy would love this.
He's back.
Is he back?
Bit of Shannon Courtney bounce there, Oz. She's been nominated for Bellew of the Week.
What was it again? She got ID'd for a lottery ticket.
She got ID'd for a lottery ticket. She's over the moon, but James isn't buying it. Says she looks about 80. It never happened.
What I do's. You can't beat a bit of honesty, can you?
She might look 90 by the time Rachel Ball's finished with her next week,
Correct.
whenever it is.
Correct.
Nomination for Glenn McCrory. He's been off on one all week as Glenn. He's back on the source, I think. Boxing News said the first rule of fight camp is no easy fight, says Eddie Hearn. Glenn tweets out to get rid of Eddie Hearn. Short and to the point from Glenn. Hashtag no bitterness.
Bang on the chin.
Bang on the chin. Eddie's wobbling from Glenn. Ben Thorne's Bellew of the Week for Bunsen Costello. I get they have to toe the line a little more than you boys, but fuck me, they may as well have swallowed when Dillian White had finished pumping with them. You listened to a bit of Bunsen Costello, Andy. What was the Dillian White interview this week?
Yeah, well, it's just, I think, well, put it this way, I know there's been a bit of beef with Costello and Dillian White, you know, according to them at least anyway, so they've managed to kind of like kiss and make up. And I thought Costello was a wee bit kind of arse-kissy to him a wee bit, actually. Probably just happy to kind of get back on talking and stuff. But yeah, I mean, look, if you listen to what White's saying and stuff, you know, for example, the fighters he's beaten, I can see people's point about, oh, he deserves a world title fight. But you just need to put it into context as well. He's had the opportunities. All right, so it's his own fault that he passed up on the Joshua fight. It's his own fault that he's his own promoter didn't get the Pulev fight stuff. So he's had chances to get himself into contendership. So I just don't want to hear all this fucking bitch and stuff. And I can see the point as well is he's been supposedly exonerated by UCAD and his suspension lifted. So I need to go back and check again as to why his mandatory defense or the mandatory shot got pushed back to next year. I can't recall the reason again for it, but again as well as these contracts in boxing and rematch and stuff like that needs to be looked at because here's you've got a situation whereas you've had Fury and Wilder had a rematch clause for the first fight going into the rematch. Now you've got a rematch clause for the third fight, so it's really just pushing back the mandatory status and stuff like that. And then you've got we had was his name Rob Tebbett basically asking. What's his name? Suleiman about the franchise champion, and he's basically saying like we've done a poll and stuff. And he says, "Does it really matter? Your title was just basically bogus." He went, "No, absolutely could not give a fuck about the situation that he's kind of fucking creating at the minute and that." So, look, he's in contendership. I think what's going to happen here is once he beats Povetkin, which I think he will, because I think Povetkin's got 3 rounds to get rid of White. And White's not got a great gas tank either, actually, to be honest. But he has got a good chin, so I don't think Povetkin would take him out early.
Povetkin shot the shit as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking shot the bits, man.
He's got a left hook chance, and he's got 3 rounds to do it. That's his window. If not, then he needs that Meldonium again. But it's going to be interesting to see, what happens here because obviously. Fury Wilder's talking about December time. I think it is. Is it Vegas? November, December? I think it is this year. They're hoping to try and get that set up for. So that would definitely push White into next year. So unless he gets Joshua next after Povetkin, he's going to be sitting waiting. At the end of the day, why is he kind of like hanging on for WBC? Why not go down another route? There's other fighters who say, all right, okay, that's a fucking mess. Why? I can see his point as well. He's paid all this sanction money for the silver titles, for international belts, and all that sort of stuff. So I take his point. He's probably paid his money to get, and to get a shot. There's other fighters who are undeserving, like getting shots before him and stuff like that. So I take his point, but there's a bit of blame as well to be attached to him. So it's no just like one-way traffic with him and stuff like that. And the shit about Fury and that on Twitter and that, listen to him on Burns and Costello and that. It was a completely different take he gave. Mad respect for Fury. There was no bullshit. There was no talk about him getting dropped and sparring and all that sort of stuff. Like shit has been coming out on Twitter. There was nothing like that in the interview on the BBC. So I don't know if I try to hype it up a wee bit and stuff like that. But as Danny Flex said on Twitter this morning, it's fucking fantastic. The amount of fighters that come out and said they've dropped Tyson Fury in sparring, yet he's still undefeated. And where it actually matters. So it's all seen as sparring under the lights, different issue. So we'll wait and see.
I think White's played a blinder personally. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. He's waiting for his shot, playing the victim card while getting pay-per-views, having not fought for a European title. Yeah. You might as well mop up. Then the big fight comes along, cash in, see you later. He's played an absolute blinder, I think. He has. But at the end of the day, he's played the victim card, but he's also thrown a lot of shade as well, by the way, shall we say. He's been throwing a lot of shade at Anthony Joshua about taking steroids, and he's been very vocal. He's in like, numerous outlets saying Joshua's on the steroids. Very fucking quiet now since he got busted. So a wee bit humbling there actually as well as so just keep it
interesting though. Interesting that Joshua never sued him over that.
Well, at the end of the day is if it's probably because it's true. At the end of the day, the last place you want to be, mate, is going to court like say, what's his name? Who was that Peter Realm? No. The guy got done for perjury. Jeffrey Archer. Archer. So he's sitting at breakfast this morning, Jeffrey Archer, reading the newspaper, and his wife picks up the newspaper and he says, "Listen, you shagged this woman." "I haven't done that." She goes, "Well, sue them." So he's got to sue them, hasn't he? He's got if his wife says, "Well, fuck it," he's got to sue them, hasn't he? So he goes
That's
to sue them.
That's the equivalent of phone her right now, then.
Right, exactly. Can you imagine?
That's never happened to me before. I'm just saying.
Well, there's an interesting point below, though, isn't there, Andy? It's like the old thing with David Icke and Ted Heath. They always used to say, why didn't Ted Heath sue him? All them things he's saying. Well, I mean, there's your answer. Then why didn't he sue him? You know.
There's your fucking point. You know, because it's fucking true. It's fucking. You know, they can. Okay, I mean, I'm nobody really, but you know, it's not all about the eye test sometimes and stuff. But come on, man.
I feel like Dillian White was very confident in his assertions at that stage when he was making those allegations. I think he was very certain.
Yeah.
What do I know?
It's like Big Baby Miller as well. Do you know hear him talking recently about those steroids and stuff? That's a guy who knows what he's talking about, by the way. I was listening to was it Jonathan?
He was at it too. He didn't get sued either,
Aye.
by the way. He made the same accusation, didn't he? And he didn't get sued either, so.
I think it was Jonathan Lear and stuff like that. I think unless you actually know the people he's involved with, he's like bench pressing fucking 500 kilos and he's mixing with bodybuilders, guys who are clearly on the clean. You know, so he's clearly mixing about with guys now who know how to handle this shit, or know how to take it at least. Then they know how to cycle it anyway, put it that way. Fuck's sake, man.
Yeah, the boys in the chat mentioned something I was actually going to bring up. I know it's a bit of a side tangent for Bellew of the Week, but the Michael Hunter situation is not a shocking decision to me. Hunter's obviously been bought in for two reasons. Number one, as a blocker, we'll sign him up, keep him out the road, give him a little bit of fish food here and there, and to fill out cards as well. Oh, look at this on the zone. We've got Michael Hunter on the undercard. He's fighting so-and-so. They've just frigging done the same with Luis Ortiz of what they've done. They do it all the time. Just pick him up, wash him out, and get rid of him, and then he can go off and do something else. That's the way it looks to me anyway. I could be wrong. I don't know, but there you go. Ryan Deal threw a good one in. He said, what's the odds of Dillian White and Alexander Povetkin being able to pass both a drugs test and a coronavirus test? The cunts haven't got 4 clean tests between the two of them. I think that's... Harsh but true, Andrew. Harsh but true.
We've seen multiple fights in the UFC canceled too because of just COVID tests. And it used to be you only had to worry about the one. Now it's now we're fucked.
That's what I'm saying, man. Can you imagine you're bringing 2 foreign fighters into the country from countries that have got high infection and death rates with this shit, and you bring them here and they end up getting catching this stuff, right? I mean, in Serrano's case, for example, you know, she's going to fucking end up doing travel costs, right? Paying her team, and then if she catches the virus, she's got to fucking self-isolate in the UK, pub in the hotel at her own expense. It's just fucking mind-boggling at this point.
Mind-boggling. Moving on, Alden for America. I'm not sure who nominated him, but he was talking about Tony Bellew maybe winning the Usyk fight, and after he gassed, Usyk took over. We've heard that before. I can't remember who nominated that. Sorry about that. George Nader mentioned this earlier as well. Nomination for Carl Froch for disparaging Joe Calzaghe. Once again, this is a cracker. I think you were all over this one, Andy. Jamaica nominated it as well from Philip Gage, talking about Kugan Cassius. Kugan should get an honour this year. No joke. I've been following IFL closely to when it started. They helped make mainstream boxing again in Britain, and the channel's outreach is worldwide. I think Kugan merits an OBE. Someone with know-how should nominated him. And then he put up a little list of how to nominate someone for a member of the Order of the British Empire. Let's get Kugan on the honours list, Andy.
There's no empire, man. The fucking empire fucking folded back in began to collapse 1920 or whatever the fucking was. Started with the Irish as well.
Hey, don't forget about 1776.
That's a different fucking podcast, that one.
Cougs for OBE, that's the point, lads. Come on, let's get behind it.
OBE. Listen, Cougs is doing similar numbers to us these days, man. Right? We're doing similar numbers to what we were doing pre-lockdown, so what the fuck? OBE.
I don't know, man. He has got an international reach, though. He's, he's in Marbella, he's in Dubai, he's in Bahrain.
Kazakhstan.
He's all over the shop. He's all over the place, man. Cougs.
Happy birthday, Cougs. Evening, Eddie.
I've got no issue with Coogie, whatever.
It's all good. Look, Cougar's done brilliant with his channel. Fair play to him. Correct. I don't think he deserves an OBE for it, but he's good on social media. I give him credit where it's due.
He's done pretty well, and he's sometimes I know he has to play ball with Matchroom and stuff to get the access, which
play ball. It's more than that now, David. Come on.
Oh, he's part of the furniture now, man.
But I mean, in the past, at least, I've seen him pose a few difficult questions to them. I'm sure he made them well aware of it beforehand, but he's done some journalism in his career.
He's in state television now. The cunt's fucking Pravda. Come on, Dave.
Well, he came on our show, and maybe
but he doesn't want to come back on our show name, Mary. See, he doesn't want to be associated with scum now.
whoever wins.
He's
I think it was such a decisive win for Tommy the first time. I don't think we needed to see the rematch. It was so one-sided.
Where's Tommy? Fuck you, one.
Whoever wins between their scrap, Tommy Coogan, they get the OBE.
Yeah. We'll move on. I think Nathan's got my point. Cholo, that's you, Andy, at Andy P792 on Twitter. Buns saying it took him 30 years to watch Zarate versus Zamora, even though he had read everything about the fight before. Surely not. You think you're calling bullshit on old Bunsy here?
Well, if he said that on his recent podcast, and it was Chris Williamson actually says, well, there is loads of fights out there, for example, and you can't see them all. It's a good point, but this fight was the most sought after fight. This should have been a unification fight. Instead, that was a 10-rounder, and it was like very sought after. I just think, for a guy like Burns, who's actually entrenched in boxing, I mean, this is his job, man. Boxing's his job, and he's only just got into watching the Battle of the Z-Boys just until recently. Nah, I've got to call shite there,
Casual Bunsy. Here's one Aussie nomination for Steffi Bull. Certain Aussie Smith tweeted out a few weeks ago that Maxie Hughes was fighting John O'Carroll. Shit ain't happening, says Steffi Bull. This is news to me. I'm Maxie's manager. Joke's on you, Aussie.
Yeah, well, what can I say? The fight was announced. I was told it on good, on fact that it was happening. Wrong show, to be fair. I did say it was going to happen at Fight Camp, but it's now on an MTK show. But yes, John O'Carroll, Maxie Hughes is happening.
It's on.
You think they moved it just so that Ozzy would be slightly
Yeah, that's a good point, that Dave, actually. Yeah, they moved it all around me, just so I was somewhat wrong.
Steffi on the phone. Yeah, you're going to have to move this, Eddie, lad.
Evening, Ed.
Evening, Ed. Joe Gallagher could be a good nomination for me this week. This is absolute pish from Joe. This is huge mistake. Huge mistake, said Joe to Sky Sports Boxing. What's he talking about, you might wonder? Joe Gallagher believes that Terry Harper is making a massive gamble by agreeing to defend the WBC super featherweight title against Natasha Jonas. Joe's full of shit here, Ozzy. He knows he's full of shit. Jonas has absolutely no chance, in my opinion, against Terry Harper, and it's not a huge mistake.
Yeah, I mean, look, of course, I mean, what do we expect? He's not going to come out and say, oh, my fighter's got absolutely no chance. But I always think these comments can backfire. I mean, we saw what happened when Jonas was in with somebody remotely competitive, that Obanov, and she got knocked out and she just couldn't cope. Harper's on the up, Jonas clearly on the way down, and I'm with you, Steve. I don't think she has any chance of beating Terry Harper whatsoever.
No, I don't think so. Billy Joe Saunders has been nominated, Dave. This is your type of content. Chris Eubank Jr. said, Eddie Hearn already told everybody why my fight with Triple G didn't happen. 2 months isn't enough time for the drugs Billy Joe Saunders uses to get in shape and to leave his system, so he pulled out. Billy Joe Saunders jumped back in, Dave, and said, the only drugs I use is Viagra when I dismantle your mom's fanny. Classic banter from Billy here.
Very shocked to hear him coming out with remarks like that. Not like him.
So yeah, this is classic BJ. See, this kind of stuff makes me find him a little bit funny. I like when he talks a little bit of shit and just says outlandish stuff. But then he'll do stuff like pay that poor junkie to assault some random dude. And his son punched was it Willie Nelson in the nuts?
Monroe.
Willie Monroe.
Willie Monroe.
Willie Monroe. Yeah, Willie Nelson, he was a fighter and a musician, right?
He's great on every level.
Punch Willie in the worm, Monroe.
But yeah, he's just a prick. And the drugs thing, I'm pretty sure, the circumstantial evidence indicates that he at least at times was some of these injuries may have been cycling. His career's been a joke ever since Lemieux. And before Lemieux at times too. I just can't. I can't stand by him. He's an asshole, and kind of a disgrace. But he does make me laugh sometimes with shit like this.
I tell you what, though, you're not far off the mark. I've fucking had it with Billy Joe Saunders. I said about 3 years ago on the pod that he was in danger of being more well known for the shit that he does outside the ring than what he does in the ring. And how fucking right was I? In the last 3 years, what the fuck has this fella done? Won a bogus title at 68. He's pissing around up between the weights. He's not taking fuck. Why the fuck won't he take that Canelo fight in September? He was signed to fight Canelo anyway. Why won't he take it in September? Because what the fuck is it? He was supposed to be taking over and training. Why wasn't he fucking training? He had 3 months to train, do nothing but train, and he didn't do it. And now he's pulling out of the Canelo fight. Who the fuck does he think he is? The Canelo fight is winning the lottery, and I don't give a fuck what you're getting. If you think you beat him, you really win the lottery because you're going to get a rematch. So why didn't he take the fight? Like, Billy Joe Saunders could fuck off, man. Who does he think he is? Like, who the fuck does he think he is that he wouldn't take the Canelo fight? And now I hope John Ryder gets that fight, and I hope he fucking does the unthinkable and beats Canelo, and he gets the rematch and gets the money. I hope that's what happens. If there's any justice in the world, that'll happen. Like, Ryder will get the fight. Because can anybody believe he's pulling out of that fight? Like, absolute bullshit.
Boxing justice, there's an oxymoron if ever I heard one. Saunders is some prick, isn't he? I'm done with him completely. Not that he bothered, I'm sure. Gavin Stevens nominated him for that one anyway. Chris Mason has nominated Kean Bates. They're having a bit of a back and forward on Twitter. Also, Ellis was annoying darts legend Chris Mason during this week. White didn't get destroyed by AJ, says Ellis, _960. And haven't you ever heard the term of styles make fights? Parker beat Ruiz, but Parker lost to AJ, who Ruiz beat. Sounds like great banter going on over there. Stuart has nominated Darren G _79. Can't read that one out, Stuart, man. That goes beyond Bellew of the week, that one. Porky in the chat, we believe, or is he? Who knows? Might be a fake account. Has nominated Matchroom Boxing for uploading Billy Joe Saunders documentary called Born Fighter. 6 fights in 5 years, says Porky. Born Fighter.
No, Billy Joe, I give him his credit. He's a fantastic fighter on his day. He is, like, he's the goods on his day, and when he's switched on and when he's made the weight and everything, he is really, really, really brilliant. But fuck this shit, like, why are you not taking the Canelo fight? This excuse that you're not going to be ready by September. It's July, man. Like, you're a professional fighter. You've had 3 months off already, like, and you were already signed to fight Canelo. Why are you not taking that fight? It's bullshit, like, it's absolute bullshit, and I hope he never gets that big fight now. I really, not hope. I don't care about that much to hope that he doesn't get it, but if there's any justice, he won't get the big payday now, like, because you can't be knocking that back, like.
Continuing on a Billy Joe theme, Porky back in. Billy Joe hands down winner this week for #Fannygate. Bet Hearn drops him now. Hearn loves having to come out and defend fighters. It's good PR for Eddie. I think this is a good opportunity to jump in with this one.
There's talkers and there's smoky bacon walkers.
Well said, Russell. Joseph Webb has nominated Harvey George Arthur Dickens. How many names do you want, lad? Char versus Brian is a pay-per-view event, in my opinion, says Harvey George Arthur Dickens. Char is a world champion, so it's a pay-per-view event, apparently. There we go. That's all the ones that I've got, boys. Quite a strong lineup this week. Any nominations from you, Hater Dave Loback?
No, I haven't really been following the news too much. I need some big fights to get me back into this. But no one can pass a coronavirus test, so we're not getting any.
Coronavirus ruining our fun. Ozzy, any nominations coming your way?
No, mate, none from me.
Nothing from Ozzy either. Andy, anything from you?
My missus.
Go on.
No chance, man. Oh my god, she came in there like a fucking orangutan, man. Jesus Christ. Fucking pished like a wino, man. Straight upstairs, fucking bollock naked, head in the fucking pan. Saw her a flare. I'm like, fucking shut the door, man. Get back down here and just fucking hide. Oh, worst because I'm fucking sober.
You better stay in line, Andy. You're going to get fucking battered if you're not careful. You may keep the noise down. You better start whispering.
Give me, man. The state she's in, I could blow on her, she'd fucking fire.
Oh, brilliant. I didn't know we were nominating the missus, man. I have a backlog.
Punches from the past special going in from Rob next week.
What the Chris Rock say? Don't hit women, you just shake the shit out of them. Shakes from the past.
Oh dear. Yeah, Mrs. Patterson getting a nomination. Any from you, Rob? Anything that's caught your interest?
Yeah, Sky Sports. I was going to say Billy Joe, obviously, but Sky Sports for re-uploading the worst heavyweight pay-per-view in history, the fight that got pay-per-view cancelled, Audley Harrison versus David Hay, the fake beef between two mates that Hay said was going to be what it was. Audley came out scared to throw a punch and folded the minute he got hit. And you know what? The worst thing about that is I fucking paid for that because I was having a fight party and I fucking paid for it. Fella came over and the house was full, and then that happened. And
Casuals
I
day.
wanted, oh yeah, and I
hope you
wanted
took
to
the
put the
money up
television.
front, Rob.
Oh no, because I'm a generous fella like that. I don't like, you know what I mean. Some fellas come over and they bring biscuits, and then they fucking take the biscuits with them and all. I don't complain about it. I just, you know what I mean. That's fucking. I just pay the fucking money.
It's probably been soggy biscuits been lying about for about a year anyway, you know.
But I tell you, that television that night, how it didn't go horizontally out fucking Gucott into the field, I don't know. I was fucking fuming. So yeah, Sky Sports bringing back good memories by re-uploading that shite this week, like.
I don't drink anymore, but back in the day, I'm sure you guys have a friend. You know, when you have a football party or a boxing party and you come round and everyone brings the booze, do you have someone who sits there and drinks his own booze? It's sort of tucked in next to his leg, and he doesn't put it in the communal booze on the table.
Aye.
The one
can dance. The one can dance, for example.
Yeah.
You would turn up with a fucking cargo, right? And he turns up with a fucking plastic bag with 4 cans and that and stuff like that. Like, what the fuck's that?
You'll probably. I don't want to be negative, but you'll probably be seeing more of that with the pandemic and all.
Yep. You know when you're younger and that, like, before you're fucking completely settled with the fucking kids and everything, and you're still kind of meeting up with the lads and all that. Like, we used to have Champions League nights over in one of the lads' house, but one of the fellas that we hang around with, like, we used to notice the fucker. He'd go for the lightweights, right? So whatever the lightweights are drinking, fellas that buy 8 cans but they drink 4 of them when they're spent. He'd go for the same cans that they're getting, drink all his cans, like, but just buy a smaller amount of his cans and then go for the lightweight cans, hoping that they won't notice. So we were on to him. So what I used to do was, he'd see me getting the cans and then he'd be buying the same cans as me. And then when he'd be at the counter, I'd go switch him the bottles and fuck his thing up so I'd be able to count the bottles. Sorry, we got off the fucking reservation tonight. Fuck's sake.
Guidos.
I was going to say there's the one guy who's will bring say 6 cans, put them in the communal area, but it'll be like Tesco value lager at 2%, and then I'll happily sup the Stellas or San Miguel or Heineken's, and then what's left at the end of the night, the Tesco value booze, which is only good enough to chuck down the sink or something like that.
Clean the drains with
it. Tenant super.
Right, boys, let's finish up Bellew of the week then, shall we? Quite a strong lineup. Steffi Bull's a good front runner. I think Joe Gallagher. Philip Gage as well for saying that Coogan should get the OBE. Adrian Broner. My one I'm going to go for this week has to be Billy Joe Saunders, though. It's about time he won an award. 2-weight world champion, Andy. I'm going for Billy Joe. Who are you going for?
The missus.
Oh, yeah, Mrs. P. Forgot about that.
No, I'll go for that guy about Coogan.
Philip Gage.
Philip Gage, him. What an absolute spastic, man. Well, honestly, God, I didn't want to say it. It's bad.
One for Billy, one for Philip Gage. Hater Dave, who are you going for?
Actually, I like the first one you mentioned. I like Bellew. You know he's big at the weight. He's a cruiserweight moving up to heavyweight. He's big at the weight. Yeah.
Go. Might not be as clear cut as we thought. Let's just add them in so I don't forget anybody. Who are you going for, Ozzy?
Saunders, but an honorary mention to Bull as well.
Good old Steffi. First with the news, first with his finger on the pulse. Who are you going for, Rob? Bellew of the week 380.
I want it to be Saunders, but I don't want us to have to deliver the news to MTK, so we'll just give it to him secretly. But we won't have to worry about him anyway for much longer because I think he's going to retire, isn't he, Billy Joe? Like, not going to fight again. So, yeah, but turning down the Canelo fight after all this fucking clamouring to get it, like, and it's in September, like, fucking hell. No, unacceptable.
Unacceptable Billy, you are the Bellew of the Week for episode 380. Thank you for taking part, as always.